Hello everyone, this is J-Mill. Today I'm gonna be talking about the modern dating crisis and how it applies to the Bible. It's like nowadays men don't know how to be men, women don't know how to be women because we've been told men and women are the same and they're equal, and this is what happens. Then you see on television sitcoms or movies where the men submit and the women lead, or they're very aggressive. That plants a seed in your subconscious mind, and you think this is how dating and marriage should be. And that explains why we have a lot of men that tolerate disrespect or abuse from women. And then, women can't find a real strong man these days. It's like, and it's also like certain foods we eat that contain soy, and then certain hygiene products that have parabens, sulfates, and all sorts of other chemicals that decreases testosterone in men, and they feel and look insecure. And even too much Wi-Fi exposure, like too much electronics and screen time, even that all that Wi-Fi alone, it affects men's sperm count, especially if they use it 3 to 5 hours a day. It's like you can use electronics for educational purposes if you have to, but if you're using it to watch anything that glorifies drugs, murder, sex outside of marriage, foul language, well, you're basically ruining your mind, body, and spirit over time. It's like, I mentioned in one of my videos that your your spirit craves self-improvement, but your flesh wants to be lazy. Like, you don't want to get out of bed early, nobody does, but your spirit knows the earlier you start, the more you'll get done throughout the day, and the more time you have to rest and relax later. But if you decide, I'm gonna get up late because I feel like sleeping in, then you don't get a lot done during the day, and then, well, you feel like you wasted your time and your day and you become frustrated. And yeah, anyways, the point I'm trying to make is like David, Solomon, Samson, the Old Testament prophets in the Bible, they were like David was the mightiest man probably on earth. Solomon the wisest man, and then Samson the strongest. Well, they all gave in to the wrong women and became weak and left God. Then they returned to God again, just so you know, and started serving him again. David committed adultery with Bathsheba. They had a kid. Solomon had thousands of foreign wives that turned him away from God. Yeah. And then Samson and Delilah. Delilah kept nagging Samson until he turned away from God. Samson's secret was the source of his strength was his long hair, so he had his hair cut off and then became a slave to the Philistines, and I think he had his eyes gouged out until death. I don't remember. I'll have to read that part of the Bible again. So yeah, now you know, no matter how strong or mighty or wise you men think you are. All you have to do is give in to the wrong women sent by the devil, then you turn away from God. You not only become weak, but now these women see you as weak, and they know they can push you around, disrespect you, provoke you. Until you turn back to God, that is. After that, they have no power over you. And it's like, what else? And then in the Bible, there was also Jezebel, the most evil woman in the Bible. And then I'll have to read that part of the Bible again, but yeah, it's like, I think it was King Ahab. He kept like giving in to Jezebel, and then they both committed acts of atrocity. See, and this is why men are supposed to lead and women are supposed to submit. Like, it's in their biology. It's not because religion told them to do it. Like, it's a biological fact. Like, for example, like, if you're in your early 20s, your mom, aunts, and grandma will say, you don't have to get a job, honey. You can stay as long as you want, because women are designed to nurture. See, they're naturally nurturers. Your dad, uncles, and grandpa will say, you're gonna make time to get a job and you're gonna do this and that, because men are naturally more logical. Then you become confused and you're like, wait, do I listen to my mom or my dad? Like, this is why you need both parents. You need a mom and a dad. And we live in a society where there's no fault marriage, no fault divorce, push men out of the picture. And it's like, women cannot lead. Like, they can't, because, like, I'll give you an example. People will argue, well, Deborah from the Bible, became a judge and a military leader. But actually, in the Bible, she didn't want to be a judge and a leader. She even said herself, since you men want to be weak, victory will be in the hands of a woman. Oh, that's gotta be very humiliating to hear. It's like, she had to, because all the men were like, you know what? I'm gonna be passive, be a pansy, and, I don't want to do what God tells me to do. So God had to choose a God-fearing woman, Deborah, because no man would do the job. You see what I'm trying to say here? Like men want to be construction workers, construction tradesmen, and, women mostly want to be educators, nurses. So this is really nothing new. I mean, very few women are construction workers or are in the military or law enforcement. And very few, and it's like, there's a lot of male teachers too, a lot of male doctors. I'm just proving a point here. It's like, I'll give you another example. It's like, see, when men become weak, well, feminism becomes a result. Feminism is based on, well, first wave, women wanted the right to vote. Second wave, they wanted to to work, own homes, become independent, and then push for no fault marriage, no fault divorce, where let's believe all women, without trial, and, make men the bad guy and pay child support just because the woman isn't happy with her marriage. If they're being domestically abused, yeah, that's different. That's understandable. Like in the New Testament, I think it was in James or Peter, it even says, husbands, love your wives, or else God will not answer your prayers. You'll never find anywhere in the Bible where it justifies abusing women. You'll never see it anywhere in the Hebrew and Christian Bible. And then you argue, why are men masters over women? Well, like I said, it's not to be oppressive or, discriminate against certain genders. Let me give an example. Adam and Eve. So Eve decided to listen to the serpent and eat the forbidden fruit, even though God said, that's the forbidden fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Do not eat that, but eat from the tree of life. Well, Eve disobeyed, ate the apple, then tempted Adam to eat the apple. And God, exiled them from the Garden of Eden. God told Adam, you're gonna work for your food, shelter, and everything and provide for your wife because you listened to her. And then God told Eve, you're gonna bear children and desire Adam even though he will be your master because you tempted him. You see what I'm saying? It's not to discriminate against the genders. It's a biological fact. And I think that's all I have to say today. If you like this video, subscribe, like, or comment, and I'll see you on the next one.